This is such a good question. Now, I know some people can have a very strong or even visceral reaction to hearing the words blood and ritual in the same sentence, but I'm not here to debate the ethics of it. Your practice is yours, and people feel how they feel. But before I answer your question, I will just say this. Whenever I find that I'm immediately triggered by something, I take that as a sign that I need more information. I ask myself, why do I feel like this? And where is the reaction coming from? I then also try to consider whether it's rooted in truth or conditioning. More often than not, once I sit with it and explore the feelings and gain more knowledge about the topic, I find that there's not very much to fear at all. So let's dig into your question, because you are correct about the word bless originally being connected to blood rituals. The English word bless actually comes from the Old English bletsion, which is directly tied to blood or blood. Early pagan and pre-Christian societies would often use blood sacrifices and rituals as a way to consecrate or empower or even to invoke divine favor. And this would have been done for various different reasons, such as for protection or to usher in prosperity, maybe to even deepen spiritual connection. When people performed these rituals, they were essentially blessing something or someone with sacred power. Over time, especially with the spread of Christianity, the meaning of the word bless shifted from literal blood sacrifice and was reframed to mean divine favor or sanctification. But that original connection to sacrifice never fully disappeared. And this isn't just a European thing. We see this across various cultures where blessings and blood have long been linked. For example, in Norse and Germanic paganism, warriors and priests would sprinkle blood on altars and people and even land during blot rituals in order to invoke divine favor. Celtic traditions saw warriors anointing weapons with blood before battle in order to help strengthen their magic. In ancient Hebrew practices, the Old Testament describes of blood sacrifices in temple rituals, with blessings often involving anointment with sacrificial blood. And even within African diasporic traditions, certain systems like voodoo or Ifa recognize animal offerings as being sacred, often using them to honor spirits and seek blessings. Now, again, I know today hearing about blood rituals can be off-putting, but it's important to also consider the time our ancestors were practicing in. Remember, in nature, nothing is inherently good or bad. It's about survival, reciprocity, and the cycle of life. Blood was seen as one of the most potent offerings because it carries life force energy and ancestral DNA and also personal power. In many traditions, it wasn't seen as just sacrifice. It was about exchange. Even now, blood magic obviously still exists, but it just looks different. Instead of full sacrifices, it's often just a small prick of the finger to seal a pact or charge a sigil. And if the idea of sacrifice makes people uncomfortable, I always point out that if you eat meat, you're participating in animal sacrifice every day. The difference is that our ancestors acknowledged it, they honored it, and they used it with intention. But to answer your question, the tradition of saying bless you after someone sneezes doesn't actually come directly from these blood rituals. It's based in its own superstitious and religious origins. People used to believe that sneezing could expel the soul or allow for evil spirits to enter the body, so a blessing was spoken for protection. So I totally get why you wouldn't want someone to bless you. If the word still carries that energy of blood rituals for you and that makes you uncomfortable, it makes sense to reject it. Language is powerful, and just because the meaning of a word has changed over time doesn't mean we have to ignore its origins. If you're looking for an alternative, you could absolutely reclaim other words like the German Gesundheit, which means health, or something spiritually neutral that aligns with your beliefs. The important thing is that you decide what energy you accept into your space.